for the project. It's inspired my personal experience and how I feel right now, how life broken me and how I feel pain. These are my manipulation, is what I feel inside. Basically, I feel ruined and I feel that something can be even worse, just like that, or can be even better and try to be soft. And that are other pieces of fabrics that they are rude, they are just so bad, but anyway, together. For me, this shape represents 3 words: broke, hidden, and rebuild. This is the part where I'm broken, and at the same time, it's also rebuilt. And this part is so soft and so kind. It's actually where I can see depression and when you are trying to hide yourself in the bed.
With this project, I want to transmit the feelings that I lived on my skin when I was 37 kilograms. And I worked a lot on mannequin because the important things that you think when you have this kind of disturb, you want to be very thin, you want to don't occupy the space and everything have to be flat. I tried also to work on materials about this destroyed kind of feeling, because this one is like the sensation that you have to be dissolving, and also the things the skin assume a different texture. All this texture, all these kind of things now are in my hand to create something with fabrics and not to use my body as a battlefield camp.
When I started to draw and to think about this collection, I focus on the skin, because I think that the skin is like the place where everything can happen. I try to make a parallelism between the myth of Prometheus and the life of a woman. I started to manipulate the fabric, and my focus on the mannequin are always 2 points. So the stomach and the breast, because the stomach is the place where the new life appears, and the breast is the place where women can feed the new life. I try to understand the emotional relationship between the eagles and the baby. In this case, I try to represent the mouth of the eagle that has already eaten the baby inside the women. And the baby can survive and overcome like the eagle, because the baby appears between the wings of the eagle on the back of the mannequin. So it is like an history of hunting, because the eagle is always trying to kill the baby. But sometimes during the story, we can understand that they need each other to find protection and a name to live.
My project is about finding beauty. For me, beauty is like flowers, and you can like smell and feel their beauty. But sometimes these flowers are like covered, so you need to try to find this beauty. And I imagined to like put all these flowers in a box and I fill it with water. Then I put this box in the freezer and all became ice. And then I break all this ice, and something that was so beautiful before became something more beautiful. Something new, a new kind of beauty, because all these pieces of ice with the flowers inside became like precious stones. All these stones created like some shapes, and from these organic shapes I put it on this and created this new kind of shape. So from a simple shape, organic, but at the same time very structured, like this, that is like a blooming of flowers. This process is really like a process of blooming from the inside to the outside.
I based my project on like 2 themes. One is that there are these voices in my head. The other one is how even through these voices, like me and my sister, we had each other to guide us through the maze that I was stuck in. And then that is what's in this, like that's my mind. It's always like I get lost here. And these are the voices that's always echoing. It's like a tunnel with no light. This is me and my sister. This is me and this is me from the future. And that the me from the future will guide me through the maze that I'm stuck in. And the smoke, or that is our support for each other, the relationship that we have. These are like cut out of tree, because in Japanese there's a word called komorebi. It means that the light that filters through trees. So I hope, like in this tunnel that I'm stuck in, the dark tunnel with no light, someday. Here you can see that this kind of resembles a rib cage, because the whole thing is actually made out from the cutout of this kind of pattern, the leaves. So it's like the infection is spreading within my body. And then this here is also based on that, and then you can see the shadows and the lights. And this whole thing is a piece of smoke, this kind of cutout, because that is what keeps it from spreading further and further.